Hello, and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff. I have my beverage here, which is today it's Liquid Death sparkling water. This video is not sponsored by Liquid Death, although you know, Liquid Death, call me if you want to sponsor a video. I just like water. Water's good. What is your opinion on Wolf Van Halen's music? So for those of you who have been living under a rock, Wolfie Van Halen has been putting out a couple of singles, ramping up to an album release. He has an album coming out under the Mammoth WVH name. The newest, as of this taping, the newest single that's out is Don't Back Down. And it's riffy goodness, and it's amazing. And I love the sense of humor in the music video. In the music, I think he's just pulling from a lot of different influences and really just going at it and doing his own thing, and music's great. Whatever has been released as of this taping, I think it's just one or two songs, a couple of singles, have been incredible. They're awesome, and I think, you know, the music really comes from an honest place, and that's all I can ask for anyone that I listen to personally. I very much look forward to the album that's about to come out, and yeah, it's awesome. Riffy is good. I like riffs. Being a Rectifier super fan, what would you say the biggest differences in sound and feel are between your favorite Rectifier and your Soldano SLO 100? Mr. Kyle Bowl. Aside, dude. Kyle has a wonderful YouTube channel. You guys should go and look him up on YouTube, because he does the ampy goodness stuff, and has nice riffs to back it up as well. But as for Kyle's question, the differences between my favorite Rectifier and the Soldano, for me, there are, I mean, you know, it's common knowledge, you know, Boogie on the original 2-channel Rectifier pretty much exactly ripped off the Soldano SLO 100 back in the day, verbatim. It's a different power section in the dual Rectifier, but if you look at the schematics of the preamp, look at the Soldano SLO 100, it's awkward. You know, they do sound different. I think the Soldano is ultimately more tighter and less fizzy than any Rectifier out of the box pre-Badlander. The Badlander is a whole different thing. It's a very modern amp, and we're not going to talk about that in this context. But for my Rectifiers, you know, my favorite Rectifier actually is my FJA modded 3-channel Rectifier, because it's modded, so it's super tight, not fizzy, usable on all the channels and modes, and it has the push-pull gain mod and all that kind of stuff. But out of the box Rectifiers, the Soldano is going to be much more throaty, much more clear, less muddy. That's not to say the Rectifiers are bad at all, because, you know, I have 5 of them. I love the Rectifiers, a little bit more accessible. You know, a Soldano SLO 100 is $4,000. To me, this is the Ferrari, and the Mesa Boogies are the Corvette. You know what I mean? Like, you can still hang on the track with the Boogies. You can also go get groceries if you want. You know, the Soldano is a very, very high price point and less attainable than a Rectifier. Rectifier is half the cost of, I mean, a little bit less than half the cost of a Soldano SLO 100, but, you know, Rectifiers, man, they just do it for me. Elliot Coleman asks, favorite video game composers? Elliot is a famous gifted singer who follows me on Twitter. I've talked to him a few times, and he seems like a really nice dude. Also, he has really great hair. Favorite video game composer. So I actually wrote down 4 people, because I went to the games that I enjoy, and then I went and looked and who did them, right? So we have, of course, Mick Gordon, who's done the Doom stuff, the newest reincarnation of all the Doom stuff. Mick Gordon also had a hand in the newest Bring Me the Horizon EP, which is just unbelievable. Mick is an incredibly talented dude. Next is Harry Williams, who did the Call of Duty and Metal Gear Solid compositions and soundtracks and the music. Next is Martin O'Donnell, who did Halo and Destiny. Halo, for me, instantly takes me back to, like, you know, having Halo parties with me and all my friends drinking some beers, huddled around a TV and having like LAN parties and stuff. Those were great times. 2003. Oh, so much fun. My favorite of all time though is Koji Kondo. NES, all the Mario stuff. Yeah. Favorite game of all time is a tie between Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. Those games just really, really opened my mind, my young mind, into composition and melody and vibe. And, you know, a soundtrack has a huge part to do with a video game. So, yeah, those are my 4 favorite video game composers. Good question. Alan Harrison asks, do you always wait for brands to contact you for demos and reviews, or do you contact them first? Alan, that's a good question. Typically these days, I am hit up. I am contacted, and I don't even handle most of that stuff anymore. Dragged Under singer Tony Kapaki is the manager of my YouTube stuff as far as that goes. Scheduling the videos that are coming in, all of that stuff. So he typically handles all of the sponsored videos. And so that way I can take less time answering emails and instead just shooting and making stuff. And basically I have a schedule or a list of videos that need to get done, when they need to get done, all this logistical stuff that I used to have to try to work out on my own. So now I have him to kind of schedule stuff out and things like that. Typically, it's a combination of companies that I already have a relationship with and that I know and that I am friends with, and people that I don't know hitting Tony up. A combination of those things. There are things that I do hit up companies about. For example, the Josh Middleton ESP guitar. I reached out to ESP, Tony at ESP, saying, hey, can I get one of those on the channel? So I do very much still hit up companies, but I would say 85% of what you see on the channel are companies coming to me to make videos with. In 2021, should an indie/emerging artist release a single or an EP? This is a great question, GTWO. It depends on the context of your band. Do you have prior material out? Have you ever released an album? Really, the order of the day in this day and age is to single ramp up to the release. So what that means is you were gonna release a bunch of singles every other month as an example. And at the end of that run, let's say a 4-single run, you will release The Thing. Or, you know, those 4 singles will be the EP that you've been ramping to. The reason why you wanna do that is because whenever you release a single and it's a part of an album, when the album comes out, all those singles numbers, streaming numbers, count towards that EP. So, you know, that's how albums chart right off the bat. Like, oh yeah, they're charting #1. Well, that's because they're counting all of the streams that the band has been ramping on their singles that are part of that album for the last 6 months. That's how that works. So the order of the day is singles. Honestly, just put out singles. Do it, whatever hip hop is doing, do that. DJ Khaled, just singles for years on end. Just single. Album every once in a while. Single. Do that, because that's all people care about, is just the song. Metalhead Monica asks, do you play any games? You know, these days I don't have time to play games as much as I want to, although the last really, really incredible game that I need to get back to playing is Far Cry 5. I love Far Cry 5. The Far Cry franchise is just incredible. I was last playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the reissue. I'm just charging up the Switch now, but typically I'll play, you know, old school Mario stuff. I'm really waiting for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game to come out on the Switch, because I really liked those. I don't know, man. I like the old games. There's a few things that are coming out on the Switch that I'm excited for. Typically on tour, I'll either be working and filming or playing with my Twitch. So that's the time that I usually have gaming stuff to do. But when I'm at home, I don't know, man. I grind pretty hard, which I don't necessarily think is a healthy thing. But yeah, those are the games that I really enjoy. Far Cry 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I used to play Call of Duty a lot. I should play video games more. And that does it for this FAQ Monday. If you have a question, concern, or comment, feel free to leave them down below or hit me up on Twitter, because Twitter is a wonderful platform. Sometimes. Fluff out. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.